What is up, guys? And Azilla back again today with another video. Today we're going to be talking about Movesets for Tornadus. Tornadus is a very good Pokemon, believe it or not, especially in doubles. So without further ado, oh yes, let me remind you to hit that subscribe button. It helps you stay connected to the channel, stay updated on my latest content, helps the channel grow. It's a win-win situation for all of us. So yes, now without further ado, let us talk about Tornadus. Okay, so with Tornadus, there is honestly a lot to talk about. It's more than just a prankster Pokemon that can set up Tailwind. It's more than just a really fast Pokemon. It's more than just a defiant Pokemon. Well, I just told you all of its good attributes, but it is a pretty good Pokemon. I really like using it for more offensive orientated doubles teams, and yeah. So with this first moveset here, it's a Tornadus I use pretty much all the time when I'm using a Tornadus. This one's got Taunt, Tailwind, Icy Wind, and Protect. You'll notice there's no stab moves here and next to no investment into its special attack. Might want to go something more like this. It doesn't really matter honestly though. Make yourself a little bit more bulky. That it doesn't really matter right there though. Most of the time Focus Sash, but if you have a Pokemon on your team that requires a Focus Sash even more than Tornadus, then I like to stick a Wakan Berry on it, which reduces electric type moves for one hit, or a Yash Berry, which reduces ice attack moves for one hit. So those are both come in really clutch for me. I think Wakan Berry is a little bit more consistent though. But yeah, as for the moves, I usually pair this thing with a faker outer such as Incineroar, because I don't want my Tornadus to get faked out, or you can pair it with an Indeedee. Now with Indeedee with Psychic Surge makes it so opposing Pokemon using priority moves against you such as Fake Out won't work. So you can do that and set up Tailwind. Now you've got double speed on your team. You can use Icy Wind for further speed control, which is what I really like. So if I lead with a Tornadus and something offensive and my opponent's just trying to go balls to the wall and knock my stuff out, I usually Tailwind. I get my double speed. If they're still faster somehow, if I'm using a more slower Pokemon, well then I still have Icy Wind on my side, and then it's like a difference of 3 stages in speed, and it's kind of ridiculous. And Fake Out, Protect, just in case my opponent has Fake Out, I'm not able to deal with it. And Taunt just for other Tornaduses and Whimsicots. The Whimsicott has one higher base. I think it's one base 116, so it's higher speed. So you have to make sure that if you see a Whimsicott on the other side, you might want to bring a Fake Out lead, because your opponent's most likely going to lead with Whimsicott. But yeah, that is basically Tornadus. I've seen people leading it with Mental Hurt. That makes it so if it gets taunted by a Whimsicott or another Tornadus, so you lose the speed tie, well then the taunt doesn't matter and you get your Tailwind up anyway. It's just I prefer Focus Sash, it's most consistent, and that's the way I prefer to run Tornadus. But basically, those 4 moves are why they're there. It's not an attacker, it's there to provide speed control, and yeah. As for the Indeedee teammate, I just stuck an eject button on it or something so it can follow me while Tornadus goes for a Tailwind, and then Indeedee will eject if it doesn't die. It'll get your teammate Pokemon can come out that same turn. So that's just kind of something I just kind of made up on the spot when I was making this moveset guide. Next Tornadus is something that a lot of people won't expect, but this is probably better for singles anyway. Hurricane, Dark Pulse, Heat Wave, and Tailwind. Now Hurricane is bad accuracy, but it's got the pure power of that base 125 special attack and a heavy hitting Hurricane. You can do a lot of damage to stuff. Dark Pulse turns max darkness, we all know what that does, drops special defense, and Heat Wave for those pesky steel types that think they're gonna wall you. And just Tailwind in case it's also a good idea to put Substitute there in case you don't want to run Tailwind, because running Tailwind and max Airstream can seem kind of redundant, but there's super fast Pokemon out there you do need to outspeed sometimes, so it's just there for an option. But if you really want, run Substitute, or even Protect, or Nasty Plot, whatever you like. Having Hurricane and Heat Wave on the same set can make it a little trickier to run, because say you got you have to get the sun up to use a max flare on something. Well, now your Hurricane is only 50 accuracy once your Dynamax is done, and that can kind of suck, so you might want to be careful about that. But yeah. Next up is just a list of more moves that Tornadus can take advantage of. We already mentioned Dark Pulse. It gets Sludge Bomb for that max ooze, Air Slash for a more consistent, reliable, heavy, well not as heavy hitting as Hurricane, but consistent flying damage, and Psychic, which is pretty cool. It turns the max Mind Storm, makes it so priority moves can't hit you, so that's interesting. But yeah, just more coverage for Tornadus. Next up, we got a weakness policy, Defiant Tornadus. Okay, so now we're talking about more stuff that Thundurus is more infamous for. Tornadus can surprise people. So you're thinking team preview, the opponent's got Thundurus on their team. You're thinking, oh, Defiant. Well, especially in doubles, you're thinking Defiant because all Thundurus are Defiant. With Tornadus, they're thinking Tailwind, Taunt, Icy Wind maybe, but Tornadus gets access to Defiant as well. You can do kind of like the same thing. You can stick a Life Orb on it if you don't want to run weakness policy, but this is kind of my idea here. Pair it with a Sneasel, and if Sneasel gets inner focus so it can't get Fake Out flinched, it's one of the quicker Pokemon in the game. You can Ice Shard yourself to proc your weakness policy, and now you're a really fast Pokemon at base 111. There's things faster than you, so you have to be careful about that. Dynamax this thing into a max Airstream, to a max Knuckle, into a max Steel Spike. It's Tornadus has some surprising things it can do. Let's look at its other physical coverage. Crunch. I'm not a big fan of that move because it turns to max Darkness, and you're not really looking to drop special attack defense on the other side. U-turn is interesting, dropping special attack. As for more physical coverage, Thrash. Screw that. Yeah, your best 3 moves are probably right here. Fly, Superpower, Iron Tail. Just when you're not maxed, Iron Tail's got bad accuracy, so you have to be careful with that. And Superpower will be dropping your attack and defense. You might want to switch this for Brick Break. Brick Break's also cool because it breaks Reflect and Light Screen on the other side if they've already set it up. And that's basically it for Defiant Tornadus if you're into that sort of thing. And Sneasel is also kind of cool because it provides Icy Wind support, so yeah. If all goes well, you'll be able to proc your self-proc Ice Shard your Tornadus, get a max Airstream up, you drop special attack on the other side even more. There's a special attack, I mean speed on the other side. Snarl, drop the special attack, that's pretty cool. You could even do that turn 1 if your opponent's really slow. Snarl turn 1 with Sneasel, Dynamax Tornadus for the max Airstream, they hit you with a weaker special attack. And now they proc your weakness policy for you, and it's just sweeping time from there. So, yeah. Let us look at more Tornadus movesets. We've only talked about Incarnate form. And little spoiler alert, there's some other team preview teams there that you can see. Regular Tornadus. Alright, so we are missing 15 points into special attack, but we're getting up to 121 speed, and we got Regenerator. So, Tornadus Terrian's always been a really good Pokemon for 6v6 singles. So that's probably what this thing's going to be, where you're going to see this thing most of the time. Tornadus is probably, Incarnate's probably better, at least an attacking one, better for ranked singles or doubles for the support one. But Tornadus Terrian is, it's an annoying Pokemon. Let's look at these moves it gets here. Hurricane, well, we all know what Hurricane does. It gets Regenerator, so if you miss an attack, you can just switch out, and you'll be fine most of the time. Heat Wave, Max Flare, Dark Pulse, Max Darkness, Focus Miss. It might even be a good idea to run a U-turn there, and U-turn's a good option for Tornadus Terrian as well. I do believe it lost Roost transitioning to Gen 7 to Gen 8, but if you're playing Smogon, you can still stick Roost on it, I think. I haven't played Smogon in a long time, but I do believe it gets Roost still on that format. But yeah, you can run a full attacking one like this. Life Orb. Even I've seen Assault Vest is a good item on it. Let's check out its special defense. 90. So uninvested. You're getting yourself up to like 165-ish, somewhere in there if my math is correct. So making yourself pretty bulky on the special side. Physical side not so much because there's no physical version of Assault Vest, thankfully. And last but not least is more utility Tornadus Terrian. U-turn, Taunt, Hurricane, Heat Wave. Taunt, just for the taunting things, so they don't set up Stealth Rocks, they don't substitute, so they don't Will-O-Wisp, they don't Toxic, U-turn, get out of there, Hurricane, Heat Wave coverage, and yeah, this is definitely a more 6v6 orientated kind of build for Tornadus. Just max speed, max special attack, and you're good to go. That is pretty much it for Tornadus, guys. What do you guys think? How do you guys like to run it? Let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.